Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Overdress Vice Schwartz Angel deck profile for Post-Lyrical Monasterio. This deck is actually, I think it's called either the Angel deck or the Vice Schwartz deck, a term used for both of the Angel wings being black and white. But also, it's an interesting deck that focuses on having different card abilities based on if you have an odd or even unit in the bound zone. And with it, the different ride chain using the Twin Wings Alestiel as your main go-to grade 3. So big thanks to Swirl the Cat for letting me borrow her deck for the deck profile. Really awesome channel. You can check it out. I'll have it down in the video description as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck, our starter being the first stage for Alestiel, being monochromic personality. Alestiel just having the same standard skill as all the other starters in the game. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. With our grade 1 being the first card to actually set up any of our bound card plays, and that is Indecisive Sky, Alestiel. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, you bind the top card of your deck. White Wings, when you would ride from your ride deck, you can Soul Blast 1 instead of choosing a card from your hand and discard it. And Black Wings, on Vanguard, all of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards cannot attack this unit. So a good way to protect this card, but you have varying skills depending on what you have. So more of a protection card, so you don't have to use up your hand guards against your opponent if they try and rush you. But also just the fact that you don't have to give up a hand card for the discard cost for riding from the ride deck is even better also. Our grade 2 is Shining As Is Alestiel. This one, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose a card from your bind zone, put it on the bottom of your deck, and then put the top card of your deck face up. So the card in the bind zone is always changing, so you always have the different wings active, whether it be white wings or black wings. If it's white wings with your Shining As Is Alestiel, you can counterblast 1, and this unit gets a critical until the end of turn. If it's black wings on Vanguard, during the battle this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call trigger units from the hand to guard. So you have either restrictions against your opponent or just the pressure. Both very useful. So you can then just have the chance to get a critical off of that. But our main go-to grade 3 is the Archangel of Twin Wings, Alestiel. This one is your go-to unit, not just for the Persona rides, but for all of your different setup. That's why with the actual main deck, we are running 3 additional copies of this card. At the beginning of your main phase, choose a card from your bind zone, put it into your hand, and put a card bound from the top of your deck face up. So with this, you have cards to replenish your hand using this card, but also a different card in your bind zone every turn. If you have white wings during your turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 and an extra critical. Or if it's black wings, all of your opponent's units get minus 5,000 power. That minus 5,000 can definitely make a difference when it comes to your opponent guarding against these attacks, but the constant 5,000 in critical pressure also can come in handy just with that additional critical. If your opponent no guards, that's 3 damage right then and there. If you get the over trigger, it's an immense amount of power that they can't block if they didn't use a Sentinel as well. For our grade 3s, we are also running 4 of the Incessant Vocal Eichel on your rear guard. When your Vanguard's placed, you bind this unit and draw a card. So with it, you bind it, and it also sets it up for your white and black wings. When this unit is bound, your cards, white wings and black wings, are both active until the end of your opponent's next turn. So then having the minus for your opponent and the plus 5 critical for you is just an added bonus altogether. Having both active just means more pressure against your opponent and all the different units for you to use. That's why you want to run 4 of this card. So you can set this card up on rear guard when you have your grade 3 Alestiel that much more earlier. And then also when you Persona ride is when you will bind this card, giving you both the active powers along with the plus 10,000 power thanks to your Persona ride. And also for the last of the grade 3s, I run 4 Brainy Player Bibuel on rear guard. You Soul Blast 1, retire this unit, draw a card, choose up to 1 trigger unit from your bind zone, and it gets grade plus 1 till end of turn. White Wings, active only when it has an odd grade, so remember that with the White Wings, even for Black Wings. This unit gets plus 5,000 power and plus 5,000 shield. So this is just a way for you to have your White Wings that much more active, giving your trigger unit the odd number. So giving you that plus power option with this card, and also being a grade 3 unit with 8,000 power, it can be recovered with some of the other cards, which we'll go over in the deck in just a bit. For our grade 2s, the only other grade 2s we're running in the deck is Heavenly Recital, MEL, with Black Wings, active only when you have even grades in your bound zone. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked while boosted, choose a card from your soul or rear guard, and you may return it to your hand. If you chose a card from your soul, put this unit into your soul. So not only only can you re-add your cards from your Persona ride with this card, which is very, very scary, being able to Persona ride more than the given amount. But also, if you put from your soul, this card will go into your soul, giving you the soul blast needed for some of your other units, but just a good recycle card, even for some of your other rear guards for you to reuse depending on what you may have on the field. It's the only grade 2 we run in the actual main part of the deck, but still great for that setup, giving us what we need for recycle resources. Moving on now to the grade 1s. We are running 4 of the Wings with Rainbow Glow, Irumel. This one has white wings, active when you only have odd grades. Remember that, it's definitely one of the harder things to remember, I would say, just keeping track which ones are white wings and which ones are black wings. But with this, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards. For every 3 of your units with odd grades, this unit, they get plus 5,000 power and extra critical until end of turn. So that's also why we're not running as many grade 2s. Having more 1s and 3s means a better chance at the odd number reveal for when we bind a card with Alestiel, giving us the option for then the odd white wings, more pressure with the plus 5 and a critical, but then also giving us the plus 5 power to a rear guard gives us more and more pressure for all of our Persona rides we may do. And I also run 4 more for the grade 1s. Little Piece, Prael, white wings, once again, odd grade. On rear guard or guard circle, this unit gets plus 2,000 power or 5,000 shield. So an extra shield unit against your opponent, being a grade 1 with 10k shield, but also for the fact that it can be a 10k booster or just an attacker, means it can hit some grade 2 rear guards your opponent may have that are just being used for a potential intercept. So for this is just another added booster card to the deck. Another one is the last of the 3 ofs for the grade 1s, and that is Cloudless Heart, Miel, white wings. With this one, when this unit is placed on rear, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose a card with 8,000 power from your drop zone, put it into your hand. So you have a good number of grade 1s that you can add back to your hand, but your one grade 3 brainy player Bibuel is also a grade 3 8k. So with it, you have both of these options to add back to your hand with these cards for the recycle power of just a counterblast and a soul blast. You can't add itself, sadly. It would be like, I believe, an infinite add back. That's why this card is at 7k power alone. And lastly, the 4 Sentinels for the grade 1s. Unwelcoming in private, Deciel. Just the same as all the other Sentinels. If you have the 2 in your hand and you use the 1 to guard, since you only have the 1 other card in your hand, you don't have to discard it for the cost for your discard. So very, very useful. Like all the other Sentinels, just protection and great ways to stop over triggers. If you guard your opponent's Vanguard attack, they get an over trigger and then you can block the rear guard. For the trigger lineup, we're running the 8 critical. I just find the pressure with our Vanguard very, very good. So 4 from the trial deck and 4 of the Ghost from the set. I don't think there were any actual Angel criticals in this new set. But also running 3 draw trigger, just more hand consistency. It could be a big problem when we're going to set up our field. So the draw triggers do come in handy there. And lastly, the 4 heal trigger are an actual Angel, and that is Soft Light Pruel. Just the most fitting, I would say, with the deck for sure. And lastly, also the fitting over trigger, which is the Blessing Diva Griziel, having the option, like all the other over triggers for Lyrical Monasterio, just to give the additional plus 10,000 rear guards power each turn, and the 100 million to your Vanguard when you drive check it. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, going through all the different decks from the Lyrical Monasterio. I hope you all enjoy as we slowly get through them all. I'll see what we'll work on for the next one. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Qualia out.